This week on Rivendell.
You guys seen the new girl in town?
Hey, sorry to bother you on this spooky night. I'm new in town. Can I borrow some sugar? I just moved here from the city, the biggest one.
She is definitely a gnome.
I'm just not like other girls.
The show is everything.
Found this outside.
Jesus Christ, Tanner! Just don't scare me like that, you numbskull.
Oh, the doctor says that my skull is fine now.
Tanner!
You wanna tell me a spooky story?
Ugh. I'm not gonna read you a spooky story, okay? You peed during Casper.
I pissed my pants and I did not want to miss Devon Sawa's timeless performance.
No, Tanner, get out. Get out! Oh my god. The power went out. Great.
Hi.
Oh my god, Tanner.
You know, you could tell me a spooky story. I don't know.
If I tell you a spooky story, will you please leave me alone?
Yes. I run a real Canadian ghost story like Ontario.
So you want a real ghost story, eh, Tanner? This is a true story. A true Canadian story. This is the story of the White Whiners.
The White Whiners?
Long ago, there was a land of people who lived in harmony with the earth. They knew that Mother Earth was the creator and sustainer of all life, and for that, they respected her.
Then the White Whiners came. Initially, there were a few, all stinky, hairy ones. They almost died in the cold months, but the first folk helped them. They took pity on them. How did the White Whiners repay them? They decided to stay and trap beavers to make into dumbass hats that they sold to rich people. Their child brides arrived on a ship, and that's when they started to multiply. The more whiners, the more land they needed, so they started to claim it. The first people knew they would have to come to an understanding. So they all met and talked, and they made a living agreement in the form of a belt that represented the whiners and the first folk living in harmony with the land. The whiners agreed, but they said they needed to write it down in their own language and to call it something else, a treaty. First they were friendly, but then they were tricky. The whiners said one thing and wrote another because they wanted more. They always wanted more. They instituted laws, paid men in silly suits to enforce them. They murdered, kidnapped, or jailed first folk that tried to stop them or feed their families. They called the first folk thieves and lazy to distract themselves from their own taking. They thought they were smarter than the first folk, but they didn't understand. And they still don't understand to this day that they are tricking themselves. They'd rather poison the fish and burn the boats of the first folk than share. They fight to build bigger golf courses and cheap houses, bitch about yachts and lattes. They don't understand that the land that they call home was never theirs. It doesn't belong to anyone. It is their creator, and yet they are slowly suffocating it as they try to grasp their claws around it all.
Samantha, you said this was a true story?
It's the most true story, Tanner, because we are the White Whiners.
But, no. No, I don't want it.
It's true, Tanner.
No, I don't
wish
want
it wasn't
that.
either.
No, it's not true.
It's true. What can I tell
No,
you, Tanner?
I don't want to be a White Whiner.
You need to check yourself every goddamn day, Tanner, because if you don't, you'll turn into the worst kind of White Whiner.
No, I won't. I'm gonna check my privilege every goddamn day. Sorry.
You will, Tanner. You will.
It won't. You're wrong.
Go, Tanner. Go. Check your white